Welcome everyone in live to the virtual Daytona International Speedway here on Wednesday night for the Ruff Neck Madness Money Racing Championship Series. We're here in season number 2, and this will be race number 6 of 13 on the season as action is heating up here as we chase a championship on June 25th. But first up here tonight, we are going to go 60 laps in the next gen with 50% fuel, no fast repairs, as always, fixed setups, and one green-white checkered. Ambient temp 83 degrees here at Daytona, and track temperature cool 82 as well. 3-mile-an-hour wind, overcast skies, but we are under the lights for tonight's race here at Daytona, as all the drivers is now getting on the grid for tonight's race. A big field here in RNR, 44 drivers set to take the green flag here tonight as they all get set up, lined up on the grid, and ready to race here tonight. We'll update the point standings here in just a little bit. And a reminder, this is race number 6 here at Daytona. And excuse me, there is 11 races on the season. 11 races on the season. So not 13. This is race number 6 of 11. And we're going to take you trackside here as Alex Hill on the pole here tonight for RNR. And Alex Hill, good to see him back out here on the racetrack in the 77 Camaro as we pull up the qualifying results here tonight for tonight's race. It'll be Alex Hill for Nightmare Esports on the pole, outside front row. Malik Gray, NASCAR Coke Series driver, driving that Inferno Racing number 1 Chevrolet. Daniel Falkingham, another eNASCAR Coke Series driver, will start in third here tonight. Trevin Ashronoff of the Jack Shack, man, that team has been rocking and rolling lately, will start in the 4th position. Starting 5th here tonight, Nick Seipel. Starting 6th, Garrett Maines. Scott Warren will start in 7th tonight. Jared Haynes in 8th. Austin Green will start in 9th. Good to see the old broadcaster here on the grid. Landon Velicky has returned to Money Racing. Will start in the 10th position. Ethan Eckert will start in 11th here tonight. Kenny Reel in 12th. Mark Von Dell will start in 13th. Wayne Isbell in 14th. Cody Neagles in 15th here tonight. Freddie Bazinez in 16th. Sterling Thess will start in 17th. And Chris Walker will start in 18th. Starting in 19th here tonight will be Chase Mistretta, hot off his win on Monday night, the PGR Light Series. Brian Hennings for Team PGR VRX will start in 20th. John Darnell III will start 21st here tonight. Brandon McKee will start in 22nd. Chris Ramsey will start in 23rd. Elijah Palmater will start in 24th. Starting in 25th will be Adam Young. In 26th will be Michael Guest. Nash Brambillo will start in 27th, and Jeff Merck will start in 28th here tonight. Axel Smith starts 29th. Asher Little, 30th. Michael Barksdale starts in 31st. Michael Wingo, 32nd. Sean Wiggins starts in 33rd. Stephen Miles, 34th. Kyler Wynn will start in 35th. Dylan Jones in 36th. John Ward will start in 37th here tonight, and Daniel Eberhardt III will start in 38th. Starting in 39th will be Joshua McCullough, McCullough Motorsports. Chris Melton for Ruff Neck Racing will start in 40th. Starting 41st will be Brock Westermerlin. Starting 42nd, Christopher McCullough. 43rd will be Kenneth McCullough Jr. And rounding out your 44-car field here tonight will be Brandon Broadfoot. So that is your starting grid here tonight for Daytona. Alex Hill making a return here to the Money Racing community. We'll see if Alex Hill, with that pole position, can get his Camaro to victory lane here tonight as he comes off pit lane as we pace here under the lights at the world's center of racing. We are here live on the PGR eSports Network as we get set for 60 laps of action here around the 2.5 mile super speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. We are in race number 6 of the season. Out of 11 races next week, we will head to Talladega in the Craftsman trucks. On June the 4th, we'll head to Daytona for the Xfinity Series. It'll be the ARCA car at Atlanta on June 11th. And the trucks will go to Talladega on June the 18th. And it'll all culminate on the 25th of June back here in Daytona in this next-gen car. And we will crown a Season 2 champion here at RNR. And I am happy to bring it to you here tonight for all 60 laps and maybe more with the green-white checkered. I'm your host here tonight, Michael Triscaro of PGR eSports. And there is the race flyer here tonight. 60 laps, 50% fuel, 1 green-white checkered if we need it. All these guys got their qualifying laps under. They're paying out 10 spots here tonight. And it is sure to be a good race as the pace car gets set to head down pit lane for the first time here tonight. As the green flag flies at Daytona. Alex Hill, Malik Ray here into the tri-oval. And I think the green flag is out, but they must be waiting on a couple drivers that weren't able to get in the grid. Checking everything on my screen. I think we're gonna reset this here, and they're gonna go manually here. And I was a little bit confused there. I got all excited for that start of the race, and I do not hear what's going on in the session. So a couple guys probably didn't make the grid. So I think they're going to manually call it out here. Not sure if they're going to go here on the backstretch or when they come back around. If they go on the backstretch, it should be soon. And it looks like they're all filing in now. We'll see if they wait to go all the way back around. We are under green flag conditions, and it looks like they are restarting here down the middle of the backstretch. We go. Alex Hill, Malik Ray here in the front of the field. So a manual restart on the backstretch will kick things off tonight here. As a caution has now flown. Caution is out. We have cars off the track and crashing already in the back of the pack. So not a great start here tonight. And 1 week ago, one of the best races you will see. And not just in RNR, but all over the money racing community. And it's going to be a lot to catch that race here tonight and already tonight. We're going to start with some action here in the back. We'll take you back to it and try to find out what happened here. I think it's going to be a little bit farther up. So we'll go find out exactly where this is. I believe Cody Niegel's there. He's off the track. Oh, there it is, right there, the 14 and the 20. They're in the middle of the pack. I think Nash Brambilla was right behind. Well, he's a little bit farther on back. So, excuse me, trying to find out who exactly these drivers were. And we slow it down for you. And there's your accident right there. That 14 car. And the 20 of Bazinez. Yeah, 14 drifts up the track. And that is a new driver, at least one I have not seen out here on the racetrack. That's Wayne Isbell. And Wayne Isbell's going to drift up into that top lane. And unfortunately for Freddie Bazinez, collect him as he went up. Freddie goes third. You see them then are 20. And here goes Wayne Isbell. Almost gets into Bazinez there. And then has a chance to regroup. He does not. He'll turn the 20 here. You see Walker up into the fence. Bondell involved. Cody Niegel's got some front end damage. See Chase Mastretta bailing out to the apron here. And we'll see if the 31's able to squeak by. It looks like he's going to be able to. So not a ton of damage for anybody here, but Freddie Basson has a lot of front left damage to him. And Wayne Isbell, a mistake here on lap number 1, really. We restarted on the backstretch, so that one came quick. So first caution here of the night. And it happens on lap number 1, which started on the backstretch, a manual green flag. And we'll go back live here as we are pacing here early. Lots in the chat already here tonight. Thomas Parker, Troy Elliott, Heath Job in the chat as well. Hey, it's Dina. Cheering for Nash Brambilla to get the W here tonight. Malik Ray, your leader. Alex Hill in second. Garrett Maines third. Daniel Falkingham in fourth. And currently rounding out your top 5, Jared Haynes of the Jack Shack. So some strong set of drivers here up front with 50% fuel in these cars tonight. We'll hopefully see a green flag stop, maybe 2, if we're lucky. Pace car lights will go out this time and we'll go back to green flag here at Daytona. Packed house here, sell out crowd to watch these money racers go for the top prize here tonight. And over the flyer payouts, so it's going to be some really good payouts here tonight for RNR. And a hungry driver right there, the 77 of Alex Hill. And you have not seen him out here as much in the last year. But when he does race, he's always going to be a factor one way or another in the finish. And Alex Hill tonight puts that Camaro on the front row in P1 on the board for qualifying. And we'll see by the end of this one if Alex Hill can shake off any possible rust he may have to get to victory lane here tonight. We'll go through the field at some point here tonight. Lots of drivers, over 40 here on a Wednesday night, so appreciate all of them coming out to have some fun here tonight. James Wagner, Wagner's Welding. He is the man with the plan over here, the boss man at Ruff Neck Racing. And he is the race control here tonight. Get some help from his buddy up in the tower. That is going to be Tim Hollywood. Heath Job also helping those guys out tonight. So lots of eyes here on all the action at Daytona. We're going to go with 15 payouts here tonight. So the top 10 like the flyer, and they're going to give money back to 11 through 15. So, well, let's reset this thing. How about we use this as the official restart of the race, or the start of the race, with that manual start to begin with. Pace car is going to drift down here, down the pit lane. Here come Hill, Ray into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back out at Daytona. Lap 6 of 60 here. Malik Gray getting a great push from Daniel Falkingham. Nick Seipel in the fray as he moves to the bottom lane here. And getting a great shot from the grandstands here at Daytona. As all these cars here tonight head down the back stretch with all that speed here in the front. Malik Gray is your leader. And the top lane looking strong and fast here tonight. They're going to come down, side draft this bottom lane, see if they can pull them back just a bit. But Nick Seipel now clear of the field in the lead, goes to the top. P1 for Nick Seipel. Alex Hill now looking to take that spot back away. So some excellent side-by-side racing here in the front of this pack. Nick Seipel, your leader in the 75. Teammates with Malik Gray here tonight. Daniel Falkingham there in third, and here comes Landon Velicky. And it took him no time to shake off the rust. Landon Velicky, one of the best drivers in the field here tonight. A guy behind him, Kenny Reel, has reeled off some wins of late and some really good driving right there out of the Real Man. And then Michael Jordan Chevrolet, we'll see if he can get back to victory lane, as this group up front has really separated themselves just a little bit from that middle of the pack. Temps are lower here tonight. These cars going to be fast and racy. As one, I believe the 87 of green almost into the wall. As we stay 2 by 2 here. Go a little bit farther in the pack. Back to Axel Smith. He's going to lead that second pack here, as they're still in striking distance of these leaders. Axel Smith, Michael Guest pushing him. And that's Malik Gray's teammate in the NASCAR Coke Series. So another Vegas Inferno driver here tonight. Adam Young behind them, as well as Cody Neagles trying to come back from some damage there to begin tonight's race. They're in the number 6. And you can see that front end damage to the 6, and that could be slowing him down just a little bit. Right behind him, the sun drop, that's the 01 of Asher Little. And behind him, Elijah Palmeter. So good to see some names, sprinkling in some new names here into the Money Racing community. Michael Wingo back on track here tonight, as he pilots that green and white gray car. No number on the side, some blank car there. Possibly looking for some sponsorship. Michael Wingo. As we go back up front right now, Malik Ray still your leader here at Daytona. Ooh, and Alex Hill comes up, nearly wrecks into Malik Ray, and Falkingham comes back down, and he's lucky got that spot back. So Alex Hill, like I said, going to have to knock out a little bit of rust. I don't care how good you are. As we have another caution. Caution is out. Pace car is going to come out. Caution out here for the second time tonight. We'll take you right back and try to find out where exactly this was. And nothing coming up on my screen. I'm not really seeing anything that happened on the track. Excuse me for trying to find the replay, but it says no drivers went off the racetrack, and no one was wrecking. So not sure what the caution was for there. So we will stay here now. We'll go back live here and expect all these drivers to come down for Sunoco Racing Fuel. 10:60 here in the books. Second caution flag of the night here in RNR's Ruff Neck Madness Money Racing. So keep an eye here on pit lane. Could be a busy pit lane right now. Got a digger cam set up here on pit entry. And here they come, led by Malik Ray. And down pit lane, all drivers come, and action's picking up. You got to get that fuel and pack this car full of fuel here tonight with that 50% fuel. And see all these drivers here. We'll see the battle off pit lane here, probably between Malik Ray, Alex Hill, Daniel Falkingham. And Ray beats Falkingham and Hill to the beat there, and here they all come. Race off pit lane here tonight. Daniel Eberhardt in the 90. He's going to take a gamble here early. He saw a couple cautions already. He's going to say, you know, I'm going to take that track position. He's looking to get a decent run in here. A long enough run before you have to get to a green flag stop. That way he can come in and get fuel and be on par with these leaders. He'd give up a couple spots due to taking more fuel. But if he can get a caution in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 laps, you would think Daniel Eberhardt make the right call. So we'll see if the call by the 90 was the right one here to make. But slow on the racetrack. Not sure what he's doing here. We'll see what the 90 decides to do. So he's letting some cars around now. We'll see if he ends up coming down pit lane. And we'll step aside for a quick break here on the PGR eSports Network. Don't go anywhere. Back here live at Daytona on the PGR eSports Network as Malik Ray, Daniel Falkingham will lead them down. It'll be the third restart here tonight. We've had 2 yellows, but we're set to go back green. Daniel Eberhardt stayed out. He will be on a little bit different strat. We'll see if it pays off here for the number 90 as Malik Ray gets him going back to green here in the Ruff Neck Madness Money Racing Championship Series. And speak of the championship series, we will go over the point situation right now. As Freddie Bazinez leads the points with, I believe it's, 34 total points. Matt Lee, 10 back of him with 24 points. Daniel Falkingham has 23. Daniel Eberhardt, 15. He's tied with Axel Smith. That's your current top 5. Garrett Maines hovering with 13 points. He's tied with Malik Ray, 13 points for him as well. Austin Green, John Ward, they share 12 points. Cody and Eagles right now in that 10th spot with 11 points. But the winners of the season, Freddie Bazinez, 2 wins. Matt Lee, 1. Daniel Falkingham, 1. So that's the 4 race wins here on the season. I believe somebody else has a win. I think they're a little bit farther back. Wow, caution again here. Third caution flag of the night. And we have a crash a little bit farther on back. So you're trying to go through some of the points, and next thing you know, we got a yellow flag here again. There's the wreck. Cody Neagle's involved again. Stephen Miles. Wow, somebody hard into the wall. And I think that happened due to something that happened a little bit earlier. As you saw, I believe Asher Little. Yeah, Asher Little gets turned. So there's a lot of events here that have unfolded on this one. And let's watch this one from a far chase here with Little. Because this happened in front of what all those guys that came into it. Paul meter comes. Yeah, that's just pusher. The pusher's there. I mean, they're all kind of linked up. So Little turns Axel Smith. And they kind of morph into one another net code. Paul meter comes in, turns Smith up the racetrack. And there goes Little. The other ones are just kind of checking up. Which is this Cody Neagles group. Yeah, Rondell checks up. Neagles has nowhere to go. Gets into him. Ramsey doesn't put on the brakes. He's going to turn Neagles. Here comes Stephen Miles. I mean, these guys all just kind of happens after the fact. And Miles gets hit. I mean, nobody on the brakes. And they turn Ramsey right up the racetrack. I mean, just nobody there on the brakes with... Not sure if they thought the wreck could be over. But this happens behind the initial wreck. And we got slightly a decent-sized wreck here early. So third caution here of the night. Ramsey probably most likely out of tonight's race. And here's Rams going to go straight up into the outside wall there. And a hard hit. Lots of damage here for Chris Ramsey in the 13. Cody Neagles, man, had bad luck here tonight. You see him heavy on the brakes. So some cars coming down to fix damage here tonight. No fast repairs. As we go back up live on the racetrack. It's going to be Kenny Reel in the lead here in the number 11 for the Jack Shack. So 3 yellows here on the night, just 16 of 60. And, man, I thought we were going to have an encore from last week. We will not. As the car-track combo, you know, changed a little bit more difficult, especially for some new blood here in tonight's race. But seems like that Xfinity, that B car at Talladega right now is the best package we have. Some will disagree. Some like the Gen 6, and Gen 6s will produce... They'll produce either really good races or some caution-filled races, and nothing really in between. It seems like we can run those for one caution or less, or you get 7 or 8. So I'm a big fan of the B car. But tonight, a lot of drivers out on the racetrack, and it could be causing some friction here on the track. We've seen a couple mishaps there, but we'll see if we can get back going here, green, and try to get some laps in here tonight. We're talking about the points. Ashwinoth and Guest right now, one back of the top 10. Hennings and Melton, they're right there in striking distance, as is Stephen Miles, Jeff Merck, Josh McCullough, Nick Seipel, Sterling Thess. Remember, you've got to take in the top 10 in order to score any points in this series. A little bit different than a lot of the other series you see. So top 10s are vital, especially securing a race win. And we'll see tonight. We're going to hop in live
Whatever it is.
Yeah, we're going to hop in live with the RCs. Tim Hollywood, James Wagoner, and Heath Job here tonight. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, you?
Pretty good, too. Well, we were talking on the broadcast. You know, we're not going to have an encore, unfortunately, of that race last week. Already 3 cautions here tonight. What do you guys see so far here on the racetrack that is causing some of these yellows?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's a full moon or what tonight, but a little crazy tonight for sure.
It almost looks like nobody's really maintaining the runs or judging the runs. They're really heavy stack ups, and then they're just running each other over.
Well, that's kind of what it's looking like up here as well. Well, James and Tim, you guys got a chance to go to North Wilkesboro this past weekend. Saw the modifieds run as well as the All-Star Race in Cup. Tell us about that experience. Looks like some awesome racing on Sunday night in the Cup Series.
Oh yeah, they was 4 wide coming off 2 all the way into 3. It was a show. Probably one of the best races I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it sure was. It was awesome to watch at home. And North Wilkesboro, it's back, and it's a great sight to see for NASCAR. Well, we'll let you guys go here. We're going back green. Hopefully we get some green flag laps in and see some awesome racing here tonight.
Talk to you soon.
That was the RCs up here in the tower as we get back to go green here. Kenny Reels reeled them in here already through 17 laps. As the green flag back into the air, Brock Westmoreland to his outside. We got some new players up front. Trevin Ashroth, Adam Young, John Ward, Nash Brand, Billa, Bazinez, Wynn, all getting it up to the front now. Malik Ray, Falkingham, Maines, all them. They're 10th on back, so it's flipped a little bit with strategies here, as it should with all these cautions flying. There's Brian Hennings, the PGR number 74. So he goes up to take the run from his teammate. That leaves Reel out. Reel's going to get spun. Ashronoff, ooh, we're going to have a wreck. We are wrecking on the racetrack. Ashronoff involved. John Darnell, damage to the 51. And the 4th caution here of tonight's race. And we saw that one coming from a mile away. And we're going to go back and try to figure out what the heck happened here. Well, let's watch here. Brian Hennings will end up probably being the leader of this race. He sees his teammate Brock Westmoreland coming. They're in that 3rd lane, and he has a choice to make. He makes it right here in the very last split second. He's going to come up, block that run of his teammate. That's going to leave Reel out to dry. Reel wants to go up. He realizes he can't. He comes all the way back down to get in front of his teammate, and he's not clear. And that takes Ashronoff out underneath the apron. And keep an eye here on Trevin Ashronoff. They're all checking up behind. Looks like Walker gets in. Oh, yeah, look, Ashronoff's on the brakes, comes up the race and back into the racing surface. Paul Meter runs right into him. As does Darnell. Ethan Eckert up into the wall. Wiggin, he does not hit the brakes. He goes right into the wreck. So another one here. Cody Neagle's going through the grass. I mean, Cody Neagle's, he's been through just about every wreck here tonight. He just cannot catch a break. And another wreck, another caution here as we are under the yellow flag once again. And 1/3 of the race finally in the books. Still a long way to go here tonight as Brian Hennings, your new leader for Team PGR. And we'll see really quick if we can go and get a word with the Team PGR drivers. Right now, looking pretty racy here under the lights at Daytona. As we will head into the booth, we'll bring up Brian Hennings, Brock Westmoreland, Ash Brambilla. You guys got a copy?
Yeah, man.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on right now. Team PGR here at the front of the pack. It looked like, Brian, you saw Brock's run coming. You went up there in the nick of time. And then it looked like Kenny Reel wanted to chase you up there. Couldn't do it. So he went down to the bottom there and unfortunately turned himself on his teammate, Trevin Ashronoff. But, hey, luckily for you guys, 1 and 2 here to start this, I guess we're 1/3 of the race in. But caution-filled race here tonight. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm just staying out right now for track position. But yeah, Kenny's already messaged me. He's mad that I instantly went 3, but I think he just ran middle too long and didn't really commit to the top. So Yeah, I went up there. I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it looks like you made the right move. I mean, if you stay in the middle there, you guys are going to go parachuting on back, and you made it in the nick of time, like I said. So, track position vital here tonight. It looks like a lot of you guys opting to stay out on some of these and, play the fuel game. It's kind of opened up the doors to be kind of a crapshoot with the way these cautions are falling. You guys kind of flip the script and find yourselves up here in the front. So, Brock, you're up here. I see you. And Nash as well. I mean, you guys looking strong here early. About how long tonight can you guys go on fuel in these cars?
It's saying 21 to a tank. I got 14 left. So, let's see what happens.
Yeah. See if we can stay up front here for a little while and stay out of the chaos. Kind of what we're trying to do for a little bit. Maybe draw some more into pit road here in a few.
Well, Nash, looks like you're up here too in the third or fourth position, rocking that Caesar Sportsbook car. How's it out there in Las Vegas? Viva Las Vegas. Haven't heard from you as much, but glad to see you out here on the track.
Yeah, it's great. It's 90s every day, beautiful weather. Coming from Minnesota, it's a huge change, and my girlfriend just moved out here, so it's a lot of new stuff happening. Got a dog and a cat that she's brought, so big changes, but fun. So glad to be racing.
Well, that's awesome to hear. That you're doing good out there. Would definitely connect with you one day when we end up making the trip back to Las Vegas. But hey, guys, we're going green here. Good luck the rest of the night, and hope to be talking to one of you guys later in Victory Lane.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was Team PGR. Team PGR here tonight, looking stout here early. We'll see if they can hold their spots here up in the front, as Hennings Westmoreland will bring us back to green here for Ruff Neck Madness Money Racing. Just past the halfway point now of the season, and all these drivers jockeying for their standings to get into that championship race, as Hennings now will lead us back to green as the pace car dips on down pit lane here. As all the engines come back to song, green flag waving at Daytona. Hennings gets a great jump here on the field. He'll go right up to catch his teammate Brock Westmoreland. Nash, Brand, Bill, and now it's Team PGR. 1, 2, and 3. Garrett Maines, Daniel Falkingham, Adam Young. Right now chasing the team that is sweeping the podium positions. And we got some drivers coming here on the bottom. That's Daniel Falkingham, Jared Haynes. Daniel Eberhardt, Jared Haynes. So Eberhardt comes up the side draft a little bit. He has nowhere to get in. John Darnell already finished here tonight, getting in the chat. Unfortunate event here for John Darnell. And he ran 600 miles today at Charlotte. Comes in here and jumps in the race here at Daytona. Here comes Cody Neagles, and unbelievable with his teammates, I should say. Alex Hill, Chase Mastretta, and Cody Neagles gets that damage fixed, wastes no time. Coming back here to the front of the field as he fans up onto the top, and it's a train of nightmare drivers. 1, 2, and 3. They swap with Team PGR. Kyler Wynn, he'll lead the bottom lane here with Nick Seipel. So lots of lead changes here early. When we stay green, I'll tell you what, there's some really good green flag racing out. Cody blocks the run of Kyler Wynn. Kyler Wynn, nowhere to go, sandwiched in there between Seipel and Neagles. Neagles back to the middle to pick up his teammates. Axel Smith now inching closer to the front in the number 97. 2x2, Brock Westmoreland. He's going to parachute back here in that third lane. And man, let's get a good viewpoint here of Austin Green and his cockpit. And this is what these drivers are seeing. They're looking for those runs. He'll take that run here on the high side right behind Freddie Basnez. And you can see him there almost in that rev limiter. As Daniel Eberhardt files up. We'll bring up that dashboard. We'll see how fast these guys going here into the tribal. And you just got to make these split-second decisions. Austin Green going to stay here on the top lane. And look at these speeds here at Daytona. And you can see him playing with the throttle inputs there. Giving a great vantage point to the viewers here. We'll stay with them here on the backstretch. See if they can get a big run down the backstretch on this third lane. He'll pick up speed the more he goes. He could have to check up. Upwards at 190, almost 5 miles an hour. That is Austin Green. Daniel Everhart, he's beating and banging here. Trying to make his way up to the front. In the 90. Sporting the Wagoners, Welding, and North Star, Fire Protection Services. It's Landon Velicky fighting hard. He's in the third lane. Cody Neagle still leads us here. Alex Hill right behind Eagles. Garrett Maines. Now Jeff Merck. Jeff Merck surfacing here. Here's Kyler Wynn. 3 wide here at Daytona. Wynn, Eagles. Man, these guys. Oh, we got a wreck happen a little bit farther back. We stay green for now. And everybody holds on. We stay green. 3 wide for the lead here. Garrett Maines getting a shove from Merck. Cody Neagles to the top. Alex Hill stays in the middle. Neagles back to the middle, and man, action is frantic here at the front of the field. These drivers now putting on a show as we near the halfway point of tonight's race. Here comes D3 into the 3rd position. Some awesome racing here at Daytona's. Alex Hill nearly turns his teammate. And there we go, 3 wide in the middle between Wynn. Oh, they're going to have to think better. They all fan out. I mean, this is some crazy action here. This pack right here, keep an eye out. It's a hornet's nest. Michael Guest now in the middle of it. Freddie Bazinez as well. Mistretta to the bottom. As Cody Neagles leads down the backstretch. D3 pushing him hard. Alex Hill, Nick Seipel. Garrett Maines, there goes Seipel. And these guys, man, they are just relentless wanting to get to the front of this pack. But making all the moves right now. Cody Neagles. He's just 1 step ahead, making all the blocks to stay in the lead. Can't make that one. Eberhardt now to the lead here. As we have a wreck a little bit farther back. I think something's happening here. We stay green. No, we're not. Alex Hill turned on the racetrack. Wreck is out. Caution out on the racetrack. Austin Green involved. Astronaut involved. Alex Hill involved as well. I believe the caution flag for the incident with Hill. 5 cautions now here tonight. And I think it starts here with teammates. Hill goes up the racetrack, not clear, gets into his teammate Landon Velicky. And that rush showing here for the 77. And that's what starts the wreck between Bazinez Velicky is Alex Hill. Walker has nowhere to go. He's on the apron here. 4 almost 5 wide. Alex Hill comes back up the track. It's in a Melton. And you see Melton right there just locked into the 77. Austin Green gets turned, I think, from the front bumper. John Ward. I mean, it's like Rex, an astronaut in the front. I mean, it's just a lot of chaos here. There's more damage there for, a lot more damage than I thought for Alex Hill. And I don't know what happened to Astronaut, but just seems like with all the wrecks here tonight, just more happening whether it's in front or behind him. We'll see if we can see what happened to Trevin here. Oh, wow. Astronaut just self-spins. Unbelievable. There goes Austin. Oh, yeah. Wow. I believe that's Austin. I believe that was Austin Green. Let me find out here. Yeah, Austin Green took a lick. That's going to end his night for sure. Let's get in the cockpit here with Austin Green. Real time. Watch this impact. And yeah, he just gets turned off that apron. Bang, right into the barrier there. And heavy front end damage for Austin Green. That'll most likely end his night. We'll see if he can get that thing fixed, but it looks like he's getting a lot of front end damage there. As another rack here, another yellow. As we go back up front live, Austin Green, Alex Hill, they're all in pit lane. Nick Seipel being scored your leader, I believe, here. Just in front of Kyler Wynn and Garrett Maines, Cody Neagles, and Daniel Eberhardt. So just past the halfway point, 31 of 65 cautions in the first half of the race. A lot of torn up race cars. As we will step aside and take a break here on the PGR eSports Network. We'll be right back here live at Daytona. Back here live at Daytona Beach. We're set to go green flag right here as the pace car is going to dip down pit lane. Action has been full from the start here tonight. And we'll see if the second half of this race provides the same amount of fireworks as Nick Seipel leads us back to the green flag here for the Ruff Neck Madness Money Racing Season number 2, race number 6. It's Seipel here into turn number 1 with Kyler Wynn, Garrett Maines in tow. Here comes Cody Neagles on the top side, being pushed by Ethan Eckert. And it's a train of cars here on the top. I believe it's been the preferred lane here tonight. But Garrett Main's looking to change that up. He's got a great pusher behind him in Daniel Eberhardt. And we'll see if those two can link up together here and get themselves clear of the leader, Nick Seipel, as we stay 2x2 here at Daytona. 5 cautions if you're just joining us. 5 yellows here tonight as Seipel clears down to the bottom. Cody Niegels, oh my God, he's going to split Kyler Wynn. He wants nothing to do with pushing Kyler Wynn here tonight. That's going to cost him there as he's going to go back farther. We'll go back here where Cody Niegels is, and I'm not sure what the move was there from the 6. I know he's not too fond of Kyler Wynn there, but he's going to parachute on back in that middle lane as he finally tucks down here, loses a ton of track position. Back up front, it's the one of Garrett Maines, then the 90, and they said, you know what, you guys want to mess around? We're going to stay linked up together, and that they do. Here comes the 8 of Chase Mistretta here on the bottom with Michael Guest now finally in the top 5 here tonight. Brian Hennings, a mainstay practically every race we are in. Top 5, top 10s throughout the nights when you see the Brian Hennings 74 machine on the racetrack. He is as solid as they come. And Ethan Eckert right now wants nothing to do with pushing him. He's going to go to the bottom. 2x2 down the backstretch. Some drivers looking for the 3rd. They're not going to do it. So we stay in line 2x2 here. Guess now to the lead with Mistretta. Side by side. 26 laps to go. And some crazy news out of the NBA. And a guy that I'm not too fond of beat my Cavs, Tyrese Halliburton. Almost a game winner. A frantic comeback for the Pacers on the Knicks in overtime there in Madison Square Garden if you follow the NBA. So some crazy action already here in the Eastern Conference Finals. And what a series that will be. Got to cheer for the team that beat my team, so I had to cheer for the Indiana Pacers. Well, right now, everyone on their feet as Chase Mistretta to the lead here at Daytona. Fresh off his victory Monday night. This would be a big one if he can get it. And we have a wreck farther back. They're crashing here in the tribal caution out. A big one here. John Ward involved. Brock Westmoreland. It looks like Kenny Reel. Asher Little maybe. Man, a ton of drivers here in this one. Mark Vondell, Michael Barksdale, Brandon Broadfoot. And we take you back here. 6th caution here of the night. I think it's going to happen right there in the middle. There it is, Sterling Thess. I'm not sure the fault here. We'll go back right here. Yeah, that's Chris Walker there. It's getting a far chase. We're going to have to get closer to this one and see what happened here. I mean, Ward's kind of running offset of Walker. And Walker's going to, Walker's going to hit the 92. Not sure if the 92 was kind of running in a weird lane there. Unfortunately, it's the responsibility of the driver behind, in this case, Chris Walker, to not get into him. And I think Walker gets into John Ward. And when he gets into Ward, well, he's also getting pushed, so doesn't really have a choice. Once he gets to Ward, he clips Ward, probably trying to get out of the gas, and Eagles is pushing him hard. That gets Walker up into Sterling Thess, and that's what causes this accident here. And a big one here in the Tri-Oval. Multiple cars involved. And there they go, Malik Ray involved. And that brings out yet another yellow flag here. As we go back live, Chase Mistretta sitting in the catbird seat here with 23 laps to go. We'll see if these drivers, I believe, are all going to come down here for Sunoco Racing Fuel. As you see Mistretta come down into his pit box here. And could be the second to last stop of the night, depending on how many green flags laps we end up getting here on this next run. As they all come off, peeling off pit lane, Mistretta is going to lead Garrett Maines off pit road. Great stop, execution there by the 8. Maines, Hennings, Falkingham, Eberhardt, your top 5 here. Infinite Frost here in the chat. John Ernell, hey, it's Dina. Joe Seipel cheering on the 75 of Nick Seipel. Nick Seipel currently sits in the 11th position. Brandon Broadfoot on pit lane. Nice to see him back out here on the racetrack. We'll take another quick break here as we get set to go back green here in about a lap and a half at Daytona. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be here in the later stages of this race, and we're going to send somebody to victory lane here at Daytona, and there's going to be one happy driver in this field tonight. As 15 of them get payouts, and be a lot of racing for position here as we near the end of tonight's race. Live here on the PGR eSports Network. We'll be right back. Back here live on the PGR eSports Network as we get set to go back green here with what will be 20 laps to go here at Daytona. And here comes Chase Mistretta, Garrett Maines into the tribal, the Geico restart zone. Green flag back into the air with 20 laps to go. Nice jump there from Mistretta. Hops up to that top lane. They're fanning out a little bit farther back. That's Brian Hennings looking to get back up onto the racing surface. He does. Thankfully there for Brian Hennings, as we are 3 wide right away here. Mistretta's going to lead that group right here. Rim riding that top. Ooh, a wreck farther back. I think we'll stay green. Just one off the racetrack. We'll have to go find out here who that was. That was Christopher Walker, I believe, that crashed. As Mistretta now down to the bottom, here comes Daniel Falkingham, the 2025 PGR 500 champion, one of his biggest race wins in his career. And that includes the NASCAR Coke Series races as well. Daniel Falkingham, also a 2024 PGR champion. He has won some big races. And Malik Ray there on the bottom, he is your reigning PGR SummerSlam 499 champion, sporting that championship belt. So 2 of the top 3 right there are sporting the biggest trophies in money racing. As Mistretta now goes to the top, he'll block the run of Falkingham here. As the Inferno Racing machines here, 2 in the top 6, but Malik Ray, P1 here on the pylon at Daytona. Oh, man, these guys racing so hard, not giving any space here. Garrett Maines now to the point here at Daytona. Mistretta, he is holding his own, looking great out there in the number 8. And what a star-studded top 5 we have here. 6th all the way back to the top 6, really. Kyler Wynn. Adam Young for the Jack Shack, trying to spoil the party right in front of Alex Hill. As single file racing now. And I'll tell you what, we're going to be racing to what could be a green flag stop. Because once these drivers in that window, expect them to come early. Because if there's a caution at any point, which we've had plenty of here tonight, that'll loop anyone that has pitted first to the front of the pack. So you are going to want to come in as soon as you can. As Garrett Maines gives up the lead to Mistretta. All by himself now here on the bottom. He's going to get picked up by Nick Seipel. And yeah, we were talking about that NBA game. Indiana Pacers shocked the New York Knicks here tonight. They're going to take game 1 and a lot of sports fans out there joining us here tonight. Back here at Daytona, though, it's all Chase Mistretta right now, as he is on a mission this week. Chase Mistretta. Up to the high side he goes, blocks the run of Falkingham, and here comes Alex Hill on to the bottom in the number 77. Alex Hills overcame some adversity. Maybe that rust is off as he comes up to the front with just 15 laps to go here. Dylan Jones marred a little bit farther back in the 15th position here. As our front stretch drone cam gets the action of these drivers here in the tri-oval. Here's the cockpit view of Dylan Jones. Here's Axel Smith right behind Malik Ray. A good run so far for Axel. Adam Young on the high side. Sporting a picture of David Flanagan and his biopic. And look at the runs. I mean, it's just the decision making here in this type of car at Daytona. A lot more narrow than Talladega. And it is just, I mean, crazy fast when you watch these drivers in their cockpit. Here's Michael Guest. I mean, he is a professional here on the service. too wide here, and you just, like I said, you just don't have time. That's what creates a lot of the wrecks in this car. You got to really be good with the throttle control. As you see Michael Guest playing with it down the backstretch. Or to not turn that car. Wow, Michael Guest to the outside. As he goes to the outside with Kyler Wynn. Merck gets a huge nudge from Eberhardt. And just some unbelievable racing we've seen by these drivers here tonight. The cream has risen to the top, and they're putting on a show, but we're going to have a big wreck. Big wreck. Jeff Merck involved. I'm sorry. Whenever I put on these crashes, it's just not wanting to go to them right away, but man, a big, massive wreck here. And I believe that one's going to go on Jeff Merck. We'll look closer. And here's Merck getting a push from Eberhardt. Offset a little bit. Yeah, Eberhardt's going to actually turn Merck down the racetrack into Malik Ray. Yeah, that one possibly going to be going on Daniel Eberhardt here late. Eberhardt's pushing him pretty centered there. But here, it looks like Merck. That's a tough one there. And we don't have all the angles because we're not going to be moving them around like I would be doing if I was doing race control. But it almost looks like Eberhardt held it pretty straight. You know, and Merck kind of got loose off his front end. I mean, this is why I have moved up to the broadcasting booth. These are the calls that are hard to make. And if you're watching out there in the chat, let us know what you think. I mean, Eberhardt's pushing him square. And then it looks like Merck just gets loose off that square push. Goes up. Eberhardt just stays in it without backing off. So I could see it called both ways. It's just, these are the tough calls that I don't envy race control by any means. And these are the ones I kind of always struggle with myself. See if we can get any better view of this. We'll see if this rear chase can do anything here. This could possibly give us some good insight here. About how they were lined up. So here's in slow motion. Here they're offset a little bit. And this will give you a really good view. Merck's holding a pretty straight wheel. Here's where Daniel comes for the push. He's pushing dead straight on Merck. It looks like maybe Eberhardt did offset push Merck a little bit. Pushes Merck up the track. Yeah, this is a tough one. Infinite Frost in the chat said Merck not holding it. And that brings out another yellow flag here tonight. Man, Chris Walker involved. Unless that was Adam Young. Can't really tell. Axel Smith involved. The 16 as well. Looks like Barksdale in the 00. Kenny Reel. Yeah, that's Adam Young. Actually, Adam Young, heavy damage. What a run he was having here tonight. So we go back live here to the front of this pack. Pace car lights still on. Alex Hill leads us here. If you're in the chat here tonight, man, we got some viewers here. Over 40 concurrent viewers right now. There's a little $sign down there. If you click it, it's right under your chat, or it's right by where you could chat. Show your support for PGR eSports. Send us a super sticker or a super chat. Any dollar amount counts. And you will show your support for PGR eSports Network. And we very much appreciate all the super stickers, super chats over the months and the years here. And without you viewers and without the promoters, We are nothing. So we appreciate all you guys tuning in each and every night here. Don Merck in the chat. Nope, not Merck's fault. And we got a battle going here between Infinite Frost and Merck's wife. And if I had to gamble on that one, I'm taking Merck's wife all day long. So just 9 laps to go. Remember, only one attempt at a green-white checkered flag here tonight. So we are getting down to it. As Alex Hill shaking off the rust early, now up here leads the race. Garrett Maines, Falkingham, Estrada Guest, your top 5. We are going to restart with just 8 laps to go. And the way the racing has been tonight, it has been a doozy. And these guys, I mean, team up all you want. This car is tough to do that in. And it's been a great race up front here tonight. And there's some big-time drivers in this one. This is a star-studded field. And we are in for a treat. As we get set to go back green, who's going to bring it home? Who wants it more? Who wants to get to victory lane here on a Wednesday night? Alex Hill to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back into the air. Oh, the flash bulbs going up in the stands. Every fan on their feet under the lights at the world center of racing. It doesn't get much better than this. There's the 77. He's under pressure from the one of Garrett Maines. Here comes Daniel Falkingham in the 39 behind. The Inferno Racing teammates are one behind one right now, the 21 and the 1 behind Chase Mistretta. They're looking for more. Here comes John Ward. Alex Hill gets punted off the track. Massive wreck here. Why is it there? Sorry about all this. Every time I put crashes on, for some reason wants to go to somebody on pit lane. But a big wreck here up in the front of this pack. Chase Mistretta involved. And Thomas Parker, nope, is not going to win tonight's race. I do not believe. He's going to need a miracle now. And actually, let's rewind it more. Okay, and let's start right here. Keep an eye on this group. Here's Mistretta blocking the run of Michael Guest. Looked like Michael Guest maybe was thinking about shooting to the 3rd lane. But keep an eye on front. Here's Garrett Maines pushing Alex Hill down the backstretch. I believe Hill's going to come down here and take the run of Falkingham. And here comes, I believe, Alex Hill right here. He's going to come down. Man, Guest goes to peek down as well. Man, I think Hill hesitates. He was clear, and he hesitates. And by the time he goes down, I mean, Falkingham's there. Nothing wrong there for Falkingham. And there you see the melee. Farther on back. Guest makes an aggressive move here to split, but he's clear to do it. Seipel has to come up. Oh, God, Guest comes up, actually. I mean, because there wouldn't have been a caution for Alex Hill, but Guest goes up the track, gets into Chase Mistretta. That sends him careening into the outside fence. Dylan Jones involved. Mistretta, heavy damage. Ethan Eckert, does he get turned? It looks like he's able to maybe save it. Now, but Ethan Eckert's going to hit the wall. Brian Henning's not as much luck. He's sideways farther back. Chase Mistretta, sparks flying, and could end his night. What a run it was up until that point for Chase. And the big one here late with just 6 laps to go now on the board. We're back up front, Daniel Falkingham. And I believe we will take the green with 4 laps to go. So we will not be in a NASCAR overtime yet. 6 laps to go now. There'll be 5 to go next time by. Pace car lights will go out, so there'll be 4 when we take the green flag. So still, this race is anyone's, but Falkingham mains right now. They've put themselves in contention to win this race. Nick Seipel not too far back. Kyler Wynn, John Ward in the top 5. So do not go anywhere. We need to find out who's going to go to victory lane here tonight. Man, these RCs tonight, they have had their work cut out. And like I said, I don't envy any of them for all the work they've had to do here tonight. We will go green here next time by. We'll take a short break here live on the PGR eSports Network. Back here live, and we have had an eventful night here on Wednesday night. A caution-filled race, but some really good green flag racing when we have gotten it in. Daniel Falkingham, Garrett Maines will lead us back to green here as we will have 4 laps to go when the green flag flies. Who is going to get to victory lane here tonight and get themselves in position for the championship here at RNR? Falkingham, Maines, Seipel, Wynn, Ward, your top 5 is the pace car. Dips down on the pit lane into the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air at Daytona. Yet again, Falkingham, a great start here on the bottom. Falkingham moves up the racetrack right in front of Garrett Maines. Those two going to be connected here as we head into turn number 1 and the exit of turn number 2. Wynn, Miles Ward position themselves on the top lane as well. Seipel, he's done it on the bottom. Can he continue to do it on the bottom? Brock Westmoreland, here he comes here on the top side. He's getting back into it. Man, what a race it's been for these guys. We've seen them back to front to back all night long. Falkingham in control of this field. Can he hold off a ferocious... Oh, here comes John Ward. John Ward to the bottom. He's got to run here in this lane. They're getting more cars by the second here. Kyler Wynn to the bottom. He wants to win this thing. 3 laps to go at Daytona. If we get around 2 more times, it'll be official. Seipel's going to jump up to the top. Stephen Miles with them. Wynn is clear. He's not. Oh, he hesitates. He's not going to get it. He was clear for a minute. John Ward's going to push him down the backstretch. Here comes Cody Neagles up the chute. He's going to go back down. Jared Haynes jockeying for position. Kyler Wynn back up to the top. Falkingham, he loves what he's seeing behind him. These guys racing hard, just can't get to him. Garrett Main's going to get out of the gas just a little bit. He's going to back up to Seipel. Seipel goes back down. Outside of turn number 4, it's still Falkingham. But Nick Seipel getting a great run, great push from John Ward, side by side at the line. 2 laps to go here at Daytona. 3 wide. Garrett Main's now in the... Man, he's in the middle. He's going right to the back. Seipel takes the top spot away. Here comes John Ward in the number 92. Can he go to victory lane tonight? Ward and Seipel. It is a duel down the backstretch. Falkingham now second there on the top. Ethan Ackert out of nowhere. Chris Melton as well here on the bottom. Nash Bram Bill, he was up front earlier. Cody Neagles, Steven Miles. Everybody has a shot here in the top 10. Who's going to get it done? 1 lap to go. White flag into the air. White flag into the air. This race is official. Seipel's going to lead it here down into turn number 1. John Ward's going to hold the bottom here. He needs help from Ethan Eckert. Falkingham is clear if he wants it. He'll take it. No, he won't. He stays up top. Falkingham now going to back up to Kyler Wynn. They're wrecking behind, so they're going to lose out right now with some speed. We'll see what happens. Falkingham goes down. Seipel goes to block. A great block there by Nick Seipel. Joe in the chat's got to be cheering on his son. Kyler Wynn lose steam. Here goes Falkingham, the NASCAR Coke Series Pro. Seipel, this is a dream come true. Can he hold off? Daniel Falkingham to the top. He puts him into the wall. Nick Seipel stays ahead. Nick Seipel wins it here at Daytona. Nick Seipel denies the pro and gets the win here on Wednesday night. And Nick Seipel, the biggest win of his career, and a story he will have forever as he blocks the run of Daniel Falkingham. And he will go to victory lane in the number 75. What a win for Nick Seipel. And he has to be on cloud 9 right now as he heads to the start-finish line. And he will burn them down here at Daytona. What a win for Nick Seipel. Falkingham tried everything he could do. Kyler Wynn finishes in 3rd. He's one of the guys on the podium. Steven Miles 4th. John Ward rounds out your top 5. We'll go through the entire race results here in just a little bit. We're going to await the top 3 here to get in the booth. We'll show you that finish here once again. But first and foremost, Nick Seipel gets to victory lane. And he is definitely happy here tonight. And he is staying out there and celebrating. Joe Seipel in the chat. Proud parent right there. Tim Hollywood up here in the booth. He gets back down. Sorry for the little soundbite as he entered the chat here, but we're still waiting the top 3 finishers here. And while we wait for them, let's just go back there to the checkered flag. And let's keep an eye on here. Nick Seipel and Daniel Falkingham give us one for the ages here on the last lap. And I truthfully thought here it was going to be Daniel Falkingham. This will be a great view of the move for the lead and then the block. Falkingham pushing Seipel here. And he's going to go for it there. And Seipel shuts the door, turns up the racetrack, starts turning back down, gets Falkingham in the wall just a little bit, and that's just hard racing. And that is all Nick Seipel needed. Your third place finisher here tonight, Kyler Wynn, a little bit farther back. He was getting pushed here to the finish line by Steven Miles, and we'll get a word with Kyler Wynn, the 82. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, good race here tonight. Gets on that podium, but you had a shot there at the end. A wild finish here and a wild race it was on Wednesday night. Walk us through your night and that last lap.
Yeah, it was a pretty eventful night, I'd say. I didn't really spend a lot of the race up front. The whole race was just me trying to get to the lead and not being in the lead. I don't think I led a single lap, which is pretty unusual in the next-gen car for me. But either way, we had a lot of teammates around us there at the end that we benefited from that. Nick got the dub, so I'm happy for him. Miles finishing fourth. But yeah, it's a fun car. I mean, despite the yellows, when we did have green flag racing, it was pretty fun, and it was a brawl. So I always enjoy that.
Yeah, great run here tonight. And, we're not going to keep you long here tonight. Good to see you out there on the track. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, factory steps on the car, all the teammates that make this possible. I know, they're a great help. And congrats on Nick and the win. And Infinite Frost here in the YouTube chat. Shout out to you, buddy. I see you supporting me in these races all the time in this chat. Thank you.
All right, well, that was your third place finisher here tonight. Kyler Wynn. We're going to bring up the guy P2, and I know this guy right here, he's the guy that always wants to get to victory lane. He tried everything he could do here tonight. Coming outside turn number 4. We'll watch it again as we bring him up here into the booth. Daniel Falkingham, you got a copy?
Hey, how we doing?
We are doing good, man. What an eventful race here tonight. And we are all watching here live on the PGR eSports Network. A replay here in slow motion of that race between you and Nick Seipel here coming out of turn 4. It looks like you tried to get a run there on him and come up to the top. Was that your plan? He came up, blocked you there, kind of put you in the wall a little bit, some good, clean, hard racing. But let us know if there's anything you could do there, maybe a little differently to have got around him or what were your thoughts there coming to the line?
Yeah, I definitely, I was in perfect position. Just I had myself where I could be pushing, which could push the outside, and then I dropped to the bottom, where my original plan was try to get underneath Nick, but my peripherals were very terrible tonight because I'm not on my normal rig, so, I'm having to trying to judge, how close I am to the car in front of me is really bad. So I just mistimed it there on the backstretch. So I was trying to get underneath Nick so I could have John push me. But that didn't work out. But it actually kind of worked out better for me because that allowed me to push Nick because Kyler, John, they were side drafting each other, which allowed me and Nick and I to decide it between ourselves. But, yeah, just coming off turn 4, I could have maybe tried to run lower on the yellow line so I could leave myself more room to make the move because I had a pretty narrow window, only about half a track to make the move, which gave Nick an easier chance to block it. So, and kind of put me in the wall. But at the end of the day, we're racing for the win. I probably would have done the same thing because, we're going for a race win, trying to get all these points, trying to get all this money. So, now, GG's Nick, but definitely going to play that a little bit better. But, yeah, considering I'm on a different rig, not on my usual setup and whatnot, I'm just glad I could finish in a really good spot.
Well, great spot it was. P2 here tonight, and a great points night as you guys head closer and closer to that championship race here in RNR. Daniel, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, I got to shout out Parker White here for letting me use his rig to race tonight because I'm currently at his house because I have a 6 a.m. flight to Indianapolis or to St. Louis and on my way to Indianapolis in the morning. So appreciate him for letting me use his rig to race tonight. Shout out to you guys broadcasting. Shout out to Wagoner for all he does for the series. Shout out to everyone who comes down to races each and every week. Shout out to Garrett and Mark working with them. I hate Garrett kind of got shuffled there in the mess there at the end there, but just product of this car, unfortunately. So, but shout out to them for working well with me, and shout out to y'all watching.
All right, well, that was your runner-up finisher here tonight, Daniel Falkingham. And, man, there's one guy smiling from ear to ear here tonight. And that is going to be the 75 of Nick Seipel in victory lane. Nick, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, man. Well, hey, I had the honor of calling a big win for you not too long ago in, I believe, a different series on a Friday night free race or something. But I am going to go out on a limb here and say this was your biggest money racing win here tonight. Walk us through that last lap and blocking an eNASCAR Coke Series driver to get the win here at Daytona under the lights here in RNR.
No, I would definitely agree. Biggest one so far, and just made the right moves with the last couple laps. Had everything go right. Hate to block Dan. Love racing with that guy, but those are just kind of the blocks you got to make with these races. So obviously happy it worked out, and yeah, it went great.
Well, Nick, you did a great job here tonight. You definitely deserve to get that big win. I'm sure it feels good, but hey, there's a bigger picture too. A win's a win. You're going to celebrate it here tonight, but you're going to move on to next week and have your sights set on a big payday and a championship in R&R. Is that where your focus is going to shift, and how much effort are you going to be putting that 75 car as a champion of this series?
Definitely. It's a struggle to get points in the series with how they run it with only top 10 scoring. So very happy I could win and I believe lock myself in. Yeah, it's a huge playoffs, a lot of money on the line, so very excited to go into it knowing that I'm already kind of locked in.
All right, Nick, well, before we let you go celebrate here tonight with your team in Victory Lane, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Guys I was working with the whole race, that's Kyler, Miles, Guest, Malik, Freddie, I think got disconnected or something, but those guys helped a bunch throughout the race, so thank those guys. Thank you for broadcasting, and thank James for putting it on. All
right, well, that is your winner here tonight. We're going to let him go celebrate that big win. It's Nick Seipel here to Victory Lane. You see the race results on your screen. Daniel Falkingham, P2. Kyler Wynn is also on the podium in third. Stephen Miles finishes in fourth. John Ward, fifth. Josh McCullough in sixth. Kenny McCullough Jr. in seventh. A great run for both those guys. Chris Melton in the top 10 finishes in eighth. Nash Brambill in ninth. Jared Haynes rounds out your top 10. Ethan Eckert in 11th here tonight. In 12th, Asher Little. Cody Neagles in 13th. Garrett Maines gets shuffled back there on the last lap in 14th. Alex Hill up and down night, but finishes in 15th. Scott Warren in 16th. Brian Hennings in 17th. Jeff Merck in 18th. In 19th here tonight, it's Malik Ray. 20th, Landon Velicki. Brandon Broadfoot finishes in 21st. Chris Walker, 22nd. Axel Smith finishes in 23rd. Sterling Thess in 24th. Brock Westermelin tonight, 25th. Austin Green, 26th. Daniel Eberhardt III in 27th. And Freddie Bazinez in 28th. In 29th, Kenny Reel. Mark Vondell in 30th. Dylan Jones, 31st. Michael Guest, 32nd. Brandon McKee, 33rd. Chase Mastretta, 34th. Michael Barksdale, 35th. Trevin Ashburnoff in 36th. Adam Young finishes in 37th. Sean Wiggins, 38th. Chris Ramsey, 39th. And John Darnell in 40th. 41st here tonight, Christopher McCullough. Elijah Palmeter in 42nd. Wayne Isbell, 43rd. And rounding out your 44-car field, that'll be Michael Wingo. One man sits atop here, and that is Nick Seipel. Great run for him here tonight, and a great action-packed race from start to finish. We'll be back with you next Wednesday night here for R&R. But first, tomorrow night, PGR eSports heads to Talladega in the Xfinity Series car for Thursday night heat open to any driver. And it should be a big field with some big payouts tomorrow night. We'll see you then. Until then, have a good night and appreciate all of you coming out to watch here tonight.